Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade Skor candy. Now if you're not familiar with Skor, it's basically just a chocolate covered toffee. It is super simple. All the ingredients are listed down below and we can go make this. We are going to start by making our toffee, and for this we will need a nice heavy bottomed saucepan, and into that we are going to combine our sugar, our butter, a nice little pinch of salt, as well as some water. Now there's not really a measurement for this water, it doesn't really matter, it's just there to help make sure that the sugar and the butter emulsify. It's all going to cook off by the time we get our toffee to the right temperature. So you're just going to go ahead and put your pot onto medium-high heat, and you're just going to go ahead and you're going to leave it there. We're going to wait for our sugar to dissolve and then come to 295 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you can stir this, but once the sugar is completely melted, you want to minimize the stirring as much as you possibly can because we don't want our candy mixture to crystallize. So you can stir it, but once your sugar is all melted, you're going to do that as little as possible. You can still sort of scrape the bottom. You want to just try and stay away from the sides of the pot because you don't want to knock any sugar crystals onto the side down into the pot, because that's going to make it crystallize and we won't get a nice smooth toffee. So you're just going to leave your sugar mixture on the heat, let it heat up. It will start out as a really sort of pale mixture, but it will really slowly at first and then very quickly at the end it will turn to a nice deep caramel brown color. Now, using a candy thermometer or an instant read thermometer, you can go ahead and monitor the temperature. Once it gets to about 290 degrees Fahrenheit, you're going to keep a super close eye on it and you're going to take it off at around 295 degrees Fahrenheit. You can play around with this a little bit. If you make it and then decide you want to make it again and you want it to be just a little bit crisper, then you can go up to about 300 degrees, and anywhere between 290 and 300 is a good range for your toffee. When your toffee reaches 295 degrees, or whatever temperature you're going to take it to, you're going to go ahead and you're going to pull it off the heat and you're going to spread it on a Silpat or a parchment-lined baking tray. I like the Silpat because it's non-stick and it's super easy to get the toffee off of, but you can go ahead and use parchment paper, or you can use even some buttered tin foil to allow the toffee to cool in a nice thin layer. So once you pour it onto your tray, just go ahead and spread it out a little bit with a spoon or a spatula if you need to get a nice thin sheet of toffee, and then you're going to leave it to cool completely. This should take around a half an hour, but it might take longer depending on how warm your kitchen is. Once the toffee is completely cooled, we can get on to coating it in our chocolate. I'm using milk chocolate, but you could use dark chocolate if you want a slightly less sweet candy. But all you're going to do is go ahead and temper the chocolate. I have done a few different videos where I tell you how to temper, so I'm not going to tell you how to temper again. But you're just going to go ahead and temper your chocolate, and then you're going to spread it nice and evenly on one side of the toffee. And then what you're going to do is just go ahead and flip it over and let that melted chocolate be on the bottom, and then you're going to spread the rest of your chocolate on the other side. Now you can do just one side with the chocolate on it if you like, or you can do even more chocolate or less chocolate or no chocolate. It's really up to you. It's gonna be good with or without the chocolate. I did both sides because, again, I'm sort of imitating a Skor candy bar, and that always has the chocolate on the two sides with a nice little sandwich of the caramel in the middle. After you have coated your toffee in the chocolate, you can go ahead and set it aside until it has completely set. This shouldn't take much more than half an hour, and after that's done, you can go ahead and break this up into pieces. You can leave it really nice and big if you want, or you can break it down to really small sizes. You might be able to see here that I took some of my toffee away before I showed you how to break it up. This is because I took some and I cut it down to really small pieces, and I used it in some chocolate chip cookies. So they were toffee chocolate chip cookies. They were so good. Go ahead and try this if you're ever making chocolate chip cookies and have some toffee on hand. They were amazing. But you can go ahead and just cut them down and use them as some nice little candy snacks. So these are so tasty. I hope you make them, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you next time.